Good morning. How are you doing? Everyone over there. This is the Space Junkie Takeover. This is the usual Monday takeover. Hope you've been doing and hope you've been waiting for the flight 9, which is keep getting delayed and delayed. We're gonna cover that, but before that, I'm Sabi and I've got David here with me. Hello.
Yes, hello, I'm David, and we are back as always on Mondays. So, yeah, we are happy to be here again, and we hope that you will join as many as needed or as possible. Yeah, this strange Flight 9 happenings in the background, that's our main topic for today, but yeah, there are some other topics as well. So, join us. It will be around 1 hour show, and we will talk about some happenings around Starbase
So far it's a flight 9,
999.
but it will be flight very soon.
Hopefully, one day.
This was the second of the jokes. Right, okay. As you can see, we're gonna start our show at Messi's. These guys are keep on building some stuff, some buildings at the bottom of the screen. Let's hope that they're not gonna go much higher than that, because otherwise, I think the Y team must find another spot for their cameras. So, just guys, just keep it that level, okay? Just don't go
Yeah,
any higher with that building.
yeah, that's the roof. Yes. Please tell us
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it's gonna be the roof. Anyway, in the distance before the crane, you can see this test
Test tank 17.
cage, yeah, with the test tank
Nicolas
17.
Cage.
Yeah, so that's the only habited now. The only in nah, this is not. No, I don't want to go down to that road. The only person, vehicle, stuff, hardware that can be found at Messi. So what can we know about it, David? What's that? What's the purpose of it?
Yes, it's a quite interesting test article because it's supposed to test already for the booster V3. However, we have only the booster V1 or version 1, but SpaceX maybe will skip the V2 so that the it will be parallel with ship V3 when it will be joined to the party. But anyway, that's for testing mainly the new header tank of the V3 version booster. And actually, of course, we can't see anything from outside, but believe us, it's in there, inside and inside of this test tank. And if we can, yeah, thank you. So these strange pistons or hydraulic items which are outside of the
Hold
hull.
on, hold on, hold on. I'm not entirely sure that the viewers can watch can see the picture. Thank you, thanks,
Mhm.
Jonathan. Yeah, this is what you were describing, didn't you?
Yeah, so these blue
Mhm.
pistons, or I don't know what exactly they are, but anyway, these are supposed to push from outside the inside header tank, and they can test with it how the forces will activated during the flight. And yeah, these pistons are connected with the cage, and that's how they can activate forces or
Apply,
apply
apply.
forces. Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you.
Hmm.
And if we go for the photo already inside the test, already inside the cage, it's from Starship Gaza, because this photo is still from the rollout, but we have a photo already inside the cage.
Do we?
But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've sent
Yep,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's it. And yeah, you can see that they are still not connected, but you can see, if you can zoom in a bit to the second level, please. There are these articles
The middle or the top level?
where these pistons are. They are not connected yet,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see
Uh,
inside the cage that
mhm.
there are these these articles they will join with these pistons coming out from the test tank, and with that they can apply the forces as I mentioned. So we don't know whether they have already tested this article or not, because it's not visible from outside. So these are not cryogenic tests. These are only force tests, let's say. And of course, it's not visible. And unfortunately, we don't have any information about it. So yeah, and so the main purpose, again, the testing of the new header tank, which is almost an orbital rocket size. So yeah, it's quite huge.
Yeah. Huge.
And yeah, if it fits the test or it will be successful, then they can use it already in case of the booster version 3, and it will be a big step forward to the next generation of the boosters. So yeah, that's the only article what we can see currently on the messages. There are rumors, or rumor has it, that the ship 35 will join again to the party. It's quite strange, but yeah, again, there is a rumor about that they had to swap again a Raptor vacuum engine, and that's why they will roll out the ship 35 second stage again to the masses, but not for static fire, but only for a cryogenic proof or a tanking test. And it's quite strange because they could do it already when the full stack is already on the OLM or the launch pad. However, again, it's only a rumor, so it's not official information. And yeah, maybe they will skip this one, and the ship 35 will join already at the OLM with the booster. We have to wait until that, but it's quite strange that, however, the last static fire seemed to be flawless and a successful test with nice datas. Maybe the SpaceX guys have seen any strange datas in the telemetry, and that's why they had to decide with the Raptor engine, Raptor vacuum engine swap or change, or yeah. So yeah, still that's why we have to still wait until the rollouts, but that's only for the ship 35, because there is another strange thing happened just 2 days ago.
Hold on. Let's just stick with ship 35 for a second.
Just for preparation to the viewers, that there are so many strange happenings.
Yep, strange things happening every day.
Yeah.
This is how the song goes. Absolutely. Let's just speculate a bit, or just let's just think about it, because regarding to flight 8, and probably similar thing happened at flight 7, but that's a speculation from my behalf. But flight 8, definitely, we know that one Raptor engine, one outer engine, got screwed, or probably that blew up. Again, I point back to Zach. He's got a great video that I can recommend to everyone who's interested in this topic. So there was one Raptor engine that possibly blew up and started the whole cascade down there, and this is when it started spinning, and it was taking other stuff with it. But strangely, so now when they had the first static fire with ship 35, then they had one Raptor engine swap. So they had some trouble on one side at one, and I don't know which particular side, or which part, or which one of those engines or above the whole system has some problem. So they swapped the engine. Now they have a seemingly successful static fire test, and then all of a sudden they need to change the engine. And I don't think, but please tell us here in the chat or later on in the comments, I don't think is the engine. It should be everything else above it. So something is causing the engine go off.
Yeah, the main propulsion system should be the failure.
Yeah.
And not exactly the engine itself, because
exactly.
Yeah. So maybe they are facing still with the same problem, and maybe they won't find a solution for it. So that's why.
But that's not a good sign then.
It's not a good sign at all, and it's totally it's a big question how whether the ship 35 can at least survive the ascent phase, because it can be totally happen again that it will just blow up as ship 33 and 34 previously.
Yep.
So nobody should be nobody should be on one hand sad and on the other hand surprised if this ship 35 will blow up again, because maybe they haven't find a solution yet. Maybe they should find the solution, because until that they can't change, or they can't go for the next generation, because if this block 2 version of the ships currently the generation they are using, it has this quite big problem, then why going back to the next why going further to the next generation? And as Zach mentioned in his video, that's another good solution if they just going back to the block 1 version, because
that's not a good solution.
Yeah, it's not a good solution. Yeah, I wanted to say if I said anything else, it's
no. I wasn't sure if.
Yeah, just we have to highlight it that it's not a good way, or not the way to go back to the V1 or block 1.
This is not the Mandalorian way. Anybody who saw the Mandalorian, this is not.
So anyway, we have to wait how this S35 will perform, and but currently there are again only strange signs how many problems with this ship they have. But still, it's on the other hand, it's a good sign, because they facing with the problem and they can manage it, or they can find some solution, because it's a hidden problem. That's the worst scenario, but and at least they have the wrong data about it and they can fix it, or at least they try to fix it. So as we already mentioned, the main problem is with downcomers, because as you can see, there is a big change or a big modification in the inside the LOX tank, as you can see, compared to the block 1 versions. So as you can see on the left side, there is the latest block 1 version, and it has a big downcomer coming down, as the name says, from the methane tank above to, inside the LOX tank. And only at the bottom they split it to the 3 Raptor vacuum engines. But they had this modification, or they have done this modification in case of the block 2 versions, where you can see that there is you can believe that it's a much smaller middle downcomer, and they have already splitted the downcomers for the Raptor vacuums already from the above or from the below, or from the bottom of the methane tank, sorry. And it seems to be that these are the main failure points currently, because of these pogo effects, or these this harmonic resonance effect, because they seem to be quite narrow, and when the LOX tank is emptying all the time because of the burning of the engines, so that's the pressure from inside changing, and they are resonating so hardly that they can just break, and maybe that caused the loss of the 2 previous ships, and maybe that's the main Achilles, how they say it in English?
Heel.
Achilles heel, yeah, thank you. And maybe the SpaceX engineers can't find a proper solution this time, because when they faced at first time this problem, the ship 35 hull was already done. It was entirely built, and they just can't change so big pipes already when the full hull is ready. So we have to wait how they fix this, or if they can fix this problem, because it's a quite big problem currently. And but still, if they just send this ship 35 with known problem, at least they have some flight data. And if this ship will blow up anyway, then it has a quite good test data again. If it survives somehow, then it's much better, because at least they can manage the other in space tests which are still missing, and they are eagerly waiting and want them to perform them. So just
Um, Just
yeah.
one more thing,
Okay.
probably from Zach's video, is that so he's speculating, and we covered that I think in the previous video, that they cannot replicate these tests, the full duration
Yes.
tests, because if you think about it, if you think about the Falcon 9s, usually with the first and second stages at McGregor, they can do a full test. They don't do it anymore because Falcon 9 became so reliable. But in the earlier, they could manage the full duration burn with this both stages, but the second stage obviously goes much longer. And this never was the case with the starships. With the Starship, sadly, the testing limits are set at both at Messi's and the launch site. So they cannot go like, I don't know how many minutes, 5 minutes probably, something like that. The burning phase of the second stage, on the ascent, and
About 6 minutes, because the staging is about 2.5 minutes, and the SECO is about 8.5 minutes. So it's about 6 minutes in total, the first burn of the second stage.
so they cannot do that. Zach was speculating that they would launch it. They have to, because otherwise they cannot test the whole
Yeah.
system. And if they fail a couple of times, then probably SpaceX is going to get into an emergency mode, and they are going to build a second stage, which they're gonna cut off the nose cone. They're gonna build some sort of similar to what we see at Messi's, with the stress tests, with the cage or some sort of mechanism that keeps down the stage, and they have to perform a full duration test. Then somehow they need to build the infrastructure for that, because otherwise they're not going to be able to find out the solution for this problem. And it's a big problem because it's now preventing them to go forward. So it's a massive issue. We cannot stress it enough. And without solving this, this program just cannot go forward.
Yeah, so the left side of this photo, or better to say a graphic, is the main part what we have to focus on currently.
Yep.
So yeah, we are waiting eagerly how the Flight 9 will come out, or how or what will happen. And yeah, but still we have to wait how the engineers will decide whether they want to perform another static fire, or at least a tanking test. But to be frank, I don't know why they need it, because the tanking test doesn't give two proper datas anymore.
Yeah.
So the main problem is again the propulsion system, and mainly the downcomers. And of course, during a testing test, they don't need actually these downcomers, or at least in case of a spin prime test at all. So that's it. From my side, I'm not an engineer, but it doesn't make any sense to make another or perform another test, other tanking test. It's just a waste of time. I think so.
Well,
So
probably it's not. They know hopefully what they do, but we don't. I mean, seemingly it seems like a waste of time.
okay, but of course it's not 100% sure that they will perform this test. Maybe they just swap the Raptor engine, and that's all. They will just roll out the ship to the launch site when they are ready. So that's the other thing what we have to wait for it. So yeah.
Okay, now you started saying that there was some other strange things happening down at Starbase City.
Yes, because not only the ship 35, but its pair, the booster 14-2, was rolled back to the from the launch site to the Mega Bay 1, and it's quite strange and quite interesting. But why was it needed? Well, anyway, it was rolled back on Saturday. However, it was not in the it was not
Plans.
in the plans, yeah. So, and of course, everybody started to think or just starting debates or not debates, but why it was needed. And most of the people think so that they have to access to the top of the booster. So actually they have to just lift, or they have to remove the hostaging ring first to access the top of the booster. And currently the situation looks like that they can't just remove the hostaging ring at the launch site or on the OLM, because currently the big crane was modified to put in its position the new OLM, so the platform. And currently the configuration of the crane X is not high enough to just remove the hot staging ring, and that maybe that's the reason why the booster 14-2
That makes sense.
was needed to roll back,
Because it was busy with the lifting
yeah.
of
And
the pad B.
yeah, so maybe they have to just check the batteries on the top of the booster, or I don't know what, but yeah. And currently they can remove the hostaging ring only at the in the Mega Bay 1, and maybe that's why it was needed to roll back. So maybe if everything goes well, then the booster can come back to the launch site at the weekend, so in a couple of days. And then let's wait on the ship 35 whether it will perform some tests at the masses, because again then it has to roll back to the Mega Bay to again prepare it to the launch or for the launch, and then roll out to the launch site. But and again maybe they will skip this step, and they will just roll out after the booster the ship to the launch site as well. So yeah, there are not so not so how to say, so but some question marks are still there.
Yeah, that makes sense. There was some which were the options that they were just that they are going to roll out booster 16 for a static fire test, or they
Yeah,
just
that's another.
or there were a few options. What were they?
Yeah, again, so maybe there is no failure or not an issue with the booster 14-2. Maybe they just want to prepare already in advance to the flight 10, because as you all know, the flight 10, the first stage of the flight 10 will be the booster 16, which hasn't performed a static fire yet. And maybe if they are, once they have to wait for the ship 35, they don't want to waste any time and just give any space or any chance or opportunity to the booster 16 until they have to wait for the full stack of the flight 9. And in this meantime they can perform a static fire with the booster 16, and when they are ready with it, then they can roll it back, and again the booster 14-2 can come back. So it's another option that there is no other issue with the booster 14. They just want to give place or give opportunity again for the booster 16 to perform its static fire. So or just they don't want to leave the booster so long on the OLM until they have to wait again with for the ship 35, because it's not certain. It's not a certain thing when the ship 35 can join to the party and roll out to the launch site. So there are so many options, and unfortunately we can't see, of course, inside the cards or in the cards of SpaceX. So we have to just wait patiently how the life will come up and how these next days will look like.
Okay, let's just talk about before we go to Pad B. Let's just talk about what can we expect in related to Flight 9. So what are the dates precisely? Because it's been because they were speculating between the 22nd and 25th, but obviously that's out in the picture. That's not relevant anymore.
I have seen new NOTAM and new NOTMAR issued just before our show, or yeah, 2 hours ago, and it mentions already 27th of May, 11:30 UTC. So that means that the earliest day when SpaceX can launch Flight 9 is the 27th.
11:30 UTC.
Right, but it's only for the not Mars. So it means that that's in Texas time. It's 6:30, and
Hold on. 27th, 11. Say again. So,
so it's 27th of May, 11:30 UTC, but it's in the night, so it's not in the daytime.
but it's still gonna be at local time in
At
the
local time,
afternoon.
it's not. It's 6:30.
6:30.
From 6:30 until 7:34 is the launch
But
window. So it's
so
about
no 26.
no. It's out of the picture already.
The
So
only reason why I'm asking, obviously, because I am going to fly to Orlando
no. It's
for
not
the
anymore.
Axiom 4
No,
mission, which is later on, but this is our ticket, and we've been worried
no.
almost
You don't have to.
almost almost to sick
You don't
because
have to worry anymore because
I am not.
the earliest it's already the 27th of May again, but it's the earliest. So but
Yeah.
currently how the situation looks like it will be quite surprisingly when if SpaceX will be ready with everything just in a week. But another
I mean,
good
it happened in the past, so it's
yes.
possible. But yeah, these developments, they definitely are not ideal. Far from ideal.
Of course.
Far away
So
from it.
again, the Flight 9 can be performed at least or not earlier than next Tuesday.
Okay.
So,
Well,
but it's a good point that at least the FAA has issued the flight license, which shows a quite how to say main information that the booster 14-2 won't be attempt. There won't be an attempt to catch it again.
I know you don't like to say it, but it's not gonna land.
Yeah, I don't. That's true. I don't like to use this word, but it won't land. So there won't be any attempt to to recover it again. So, but the main focus will be on the ship anyway. So the booster has done its job already. So it was caught one time already, and that's as we already mentioned, it's a big milestone that they can use it again. So that will be the first reuse of a first stage in the Starship program. So it's quite good that they have reached this point already on the Flight 9 that they can use the first stage already again. But now the big question mark is on the ship, how it will perform.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mixed bag, to be honest,
Yeah.
because on one hand they are proceeding so well with the booster, and as you just said, it's amazing what they are achieving with the boosters. just only in 9 flights they
Hmm.
can land this thing, which is quite staggering. But on the other hand, if they're not gonna make the ship work ASAP, then they are kind of in a trouble,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day is the ship that goes to space and is the ship that's supposed to go to Moon and Mars, and otherwise it's just not gonna happen. Let's just reflect to the chat for a sec.
Hmm.
First of all, Ekij was saying, pointing back to the ship testing, the possible full duration testing, that anything that holds down the ship for testing on the ground will change the vibrations. The only truly realistic test is a flight test, which we absolutely
Hmm.
agree with.
Yeah.
The problem is that sooner or later it is going to start hitting SpaceX if they keep on failing and failing and failing. The investors and these kind of things can impact the program, the fundings. We don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, they cannot keep on fail. Yeah, they should show some sort of progress at some point. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, Nakic has another
Mm-hmm.
already two comments. One of
Mm-hmm.
it, that shame to waste all those engines on B14, especially when they seem to need to swap them out from time to time. Yeah, but don't forget that they want to introduce the Raptor version 3 quite soon with the new generations of the booster and the ship. So maybe it's not so long anyway, not so long time. And they have still so many boosters in the stock to just not to recover it again. So it's it's a booster 14, then they have the booster 15, the 16, 17, and 18. I guess that's the last V1 booster, and so that's 4. And if we are thinking about that, they want to reuse them at least one time, then it's enough for 8 flights at least. So that's why maybe they have decided to not to recover the booster this time. And yeah, it's another question how they will just test it, the descending phase, whether it will be just a splashdown with propulsive splashdown, or they will just let it go and
Nah, it must be. I cannot imagine that they're not gonna use the opportunity to
yeah,
test
yeah,
the landings.
I think so that the
Unless they have
first.
some critical issue with it.
Yeah, yeah. So at least it will be a controlled splashdown to
Yeah.
the Gulf. And yeah, but that's for sure that they won't catch it with the chopsticks.
Hmm. Hmm. And let's be frank, it makes kind of sense. Um, because why would they risk? I mean, we don't know in what condition the booster going to be at the time of landing. If you ask me, I would put my money on on the scenario that booster 14-2 gonna be in tip-top condition. I guess they are
It could.
proceeding so well with the boosters, and we didn't see like epic failures. One engine, two engine fail, and then it comes back later on, leaving only one engine not working, and that was in the outer circle, not even in the main middle three. So I again, unless they have some huge problems, I don't see them having any critical problem with the booster.
Mhm.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Ruby Foxton said that earlier on that no chance booster 16 static fire until net early or mid June. Yeah, that's possible. It looks like they're gonna wait for this flight, so that puts us already to the end of May if it will be launched on the 27th. But yeah, we don't know what stage the booster 16
Mhm.
construction is. Yeah.
And there is a question still from Ruby Foxton that what are your thoughts on the upcoming Chaser and Target refueling mission? Estimate date, which ships will be used? Good question. If I want to answer shortly, then I don't know. But once you have asked us, then it's then let's answer a bit longer. So the time is or the clock is ticking pretty much already, and if they want to have the middle of 27 Artemis 3 launch, then they have to perform this test at least or maximum or at latest in the first half of 2026. It's still very tight, but it's the very last moment or option if they want to still have this opportunity to perform the Artemis 3 mission around in the middle of 2027. So what kind of ships will be used? It's 100% sure that they will use still the Block 2 or the V2 version, because the HLS will be a Block 2 version as well. Of course, the fuel depot can be a 3 or versions 3 boost ship. So actually, it as you can see on this graphic, it looks like it looks totally not the same as the tankers or the HLS will look like. So yeah, you will have the photo in any moment. Yeah.
Yep.
So so the tanker will be a Block 2 or V2 version, that's for sure. The fuel depot, I don't know. I just totally don't know.
It could be a V3.
Yeah, it can be V2 or V3. So
I would say V3 because it needs to be big.
Yeah, and maybe they can test it already. So the new generation of the ships.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good question because it's already May of 2025, and they haven't go to orbit yet. So they have to just ramping up the cadence of the test flights, because otherwise they just can't perform this quite long refueling test, because it won't be just one day. It will be, I don't know, more weeks or maybe more months, because they want to perform it at least in 2 weeks, if I'm correct, but maybe it will be even longer to test how the propulsion system or how the fuel inside the tanks will just boil or not to boil. So it's a big question again, how they can just prevent to boiling off the propellant, because otherwise they lose so many or so much propellant, then they would need even more and more tankers to fill up the depot. And again, if the depot just loses so many propellant, then it won't have enough propellant to just refuel the HLS version of the ship when they going to the moon already. So, and on the other hand, they have to perform a demo flight or demo mission to the moon before the Artemis 3, which has to perform at maximum or no later than half year before the Artemis 3. So if we are thinking about again the middle of 2027 for Artemis 3 date, then it means that they would have to perform this first demo flight to the moon with an HLS version at latest end of 2026. So it's only around 18 months or so. So they don't have too much so much time. So they have to ramp up again the flight cadence, and it or the Artemis 3, so that with the American moon landing will have to moved again to the right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
very little
hard
chance.
questions, hard questions.
Very little chance that to happen. I mean, they can always surprise us, but as it stands, I they have so much stuff to solve. Um, yeah, orbital tanking is not gonna be walk in the park. That's for sure. Especially at this size of vehicle, especially the fact that they need to keep it cryogenic. Um, yeah, it's gonna be wild. We will see. Anyway, we're gonna keep an eye on it for sure because it's super interesting
Hmm.
where we are heading, and we desperately want to see these kind of pictures again because we haven't seen a ship coming back.
Yeah, we miss this so
Do
much.
yeah, the re-entries and the plasma, and then the descent phase, and yeah,
Just
this
the
is
sight of our nice Earth.
yeah. Anyway, we are hopeful, and um, please tell us. Can we put out a poll into the chat because we have quite so many people watching us right now, 190 of you, which you are
Oh,
very
nice.
yeah, we really hugely appreciate that. So let's just ask the chat that what do they think about Flight 9? Is it going to happen? Is the ship going to do his job for the first time? Sorry, a V2 ship going to
Hmm.
do his job for the first time, or is it gonna end up like Flight 7 or Flight 8?
Is it doomed?
Yeah. Dave, where would you put your money?
I I try to be optimistic as always, and I I vote for the first option. So somehow it will manage at least to make the
But hold on,
ascent
hold on,
phase.
but hold on. That's a realistic expectation, or you would like them to succeed? What I'm asking you is, what do you think is gonna happen?
I
Not
think
not
it.
what would you like to see happen.
Okay, then
I want to
again,
see them succeed as
of
well,
course, who
obviously.
doesn't? But um,
Jeff.
yeah. So, but I think ship 45 will do the trick. So at
Mhm,
least it will survive the ascent phase.
mhm, mhm.
What do
Yeah,
you think?
I I have a feeling. I mean, the signs are not pointing towards the right direction, to be honest.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like that things are okay with this ship. The fact that that after there you go, we got the poll. Please vote. We want your opinion. We want to see your opinion. I'm gonna vote secretly, and then I'm gonna reveal uh, my opinion. So yes, I would like to see them succeed, but it looks like that they have some problems under the hood. Otherwise, they would not have to change another Raptor. I think they're just gonna launch it and they're gonna keep their fingers crossed. And they're gonna probably hope for a lucky flight that it's not gonna escalate so bad. Um, but yeah, it doesn't look like that they
Hmm.
solved the problem.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully next week.
Hmm. Well, the chat is pretty hopeful and
Yeah,
optimistic,
yeah.
which is good. Which is good. I want to be wrong, to be honest. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, we will
And of
see.
course, even if ship 35 will be successful, it doesn't mean that okay they can lean back and everything is
No,
solved,
no, no, no,
because
no.
because it's only that one time, and it doesn't mean that ship 36 will be successful as well. So it can have a hidden or
Absolutely.
not or a known problem as well. So
Hmm.
there are so many things what has to be solved yet, in case of the block 2 or V2 version ships, then that it's only one thing about these problems. So yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, these ground tests are not the 100%
Hmm.
solutions either. So but yeah, they have to perform it anyway because at least they have some ground tests. But again, we
Yep.
can't highlight it enough. The main focus is again on the test flights because they can have the data's only or the proper data's on the test flights only.
Yep. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, let's see how this turns out to be. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, please vote, chat. Please, viewers. There are almost 200 people watching us right now, which is great. Thank you. But please vote. We want your opinion. We want to see what you think about it. And if you happen to watch this program later on, just tell us in the comment because we want to know your opinion. Okay. To end the show with something more current, they have this beautiful pad being constructed.
Oh yes.
And yeah, so first of all, we covered well actually hold on. Can we have just a look at the production side because high bay is almost completely down, and that looks quite nice. I mean, we have those cameras. I mean, there are three cameras at Y, at yep, and oh yeah, you're gonna turn it, I guess. Yeah. Okay, no worries. The camera gonna turn in 1 second. So yeah, the high base is almost down. Thanks God. So finally now, it took quite some time, right?
Yeah,
To tear it
more
down.
months. I don't know when they had when they started to demolish it, but it takes so long that I think nobody thought that it will take so many
No.
not days but weeks and months.
Yeah,
So
I
and
was
it's
expecting them to do it much quicker.
me too. So it's quite strange that they are just cutting off still some some parts of the
Mhm.
side walls, and I don't know what's the point or what's the plan with it. So
Jonathan, if you put back the pictures in the meantime, I can show to the viewers a photo from I think this is from the 7th of May, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see that, yeah, on
but there
what
is the second
week?
photo
Second,
I have numbered. It's much
second.
it's quite
Oh yeah. It's not a
quite
great
new.
resolution, but yeah, it's from Starship Gazer, and that's more relevant. But when was this? This is now
On
or not too long
Sunday.
ago? Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
it's sorry, yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
because
Sunday because
because the
it's Monday. Yeah,
Starship is
okay.
completely taken down, that extension bit, so the from the Star Factory, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite current. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, in the meantime, when Jonathan is turning the camera, there was a party. There was a party at Mega Bay 2.
Yeah, there
So
was a wedding.
yeah, so that's quite a sight. You'll see, I mean, there is some music as well, but we can't play that. But I mean, how cool is that? Somebody just had their wedding party.
Why not? If they have the money, then go for it.
Yeah, what a party! Just a lot of rumble, a lot of torn down pieces.
And
No, I'm joking. I mean, the view is, oh my goodness, it's so freaking cool. I got another video because here just you can just see the flashes, but I got another video here. Give me just a second, and a guy just walks around in the party, and I mean that's just so cool. Just imagine be there. I think every geek at this channel or everyone who just saw this video must go
and below
like,
you and below the people, the ships are there, so they are preparing them to to launch any day, one day in the future. So
yeah.
just think about it. Then here's a party, and if you are just seeing below you, then you can imagine there are the ships are under you.
I'm
So
not entirely sure how impressed people are with this site, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would be for sure. But look at that.
And
I
not so many
mean,
people can say that, okay, I had a wedding at Starbase. So
yeah. Again, I don't know how impressed people are with the site. Probably, I doubt that most of them are just geeks. But we would give like I probably would give my little finger for this experience. No, we have
really,
a saying in Hungary. No, of course not. But that would be really nice to just once just to be there and just see. Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. We have a camera view of a bird. We just went out of the view, and yeah, so this is the high bay, or at least what
it was.
left from it. So
It's now the
yeah,
buy bay.
yeah, it's a bye bay. Yeah, so yeah, and we just surpassed 200 viewers. Hello, welcome. Thank you.
Maybe
This
it's
is
a new
one of our
record,
hires. Yeah. Nah, yeah, kind of.
or
So
one of the
yeah,
highest. That's for sure.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just look at it. Look at the poor high bay. How does it look like, and why do they have done it, or what they have done it with this
yeah.
poor building? So just
The
and
weird thing is that we all remember when it was built, and that's been a while ago, and now we can sort of see it backward.
yeah. So why it looks like a checkered a like a check table, or how do they call it?
It's checkered. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and the below levels, why are they just cut off entirely? So that's, I don't know. But again, I'm not an engineer. And another famous famous site,
Not yet, not yet. So yeah,
or
yeah.
coming up.
Let's say bye bye Bay to it, and let's just see some photos, Jonathan, to finish the program with, because there are some weightlifting going on. Um, a lot of people speculating what this site looks like. I mean, what these red things look like. I would go for let's say figs. Anybody can think whatever you want. You can associate these bags with. I would go with figs, but there are some people with dirty minds, and they probably have other ideas like water bag. No, okay, no, I'm not saying
Yeah, but
anything.
of course these are water bags and they are fold.
Melons or Jonathan was just telling us what he thinks about it, and yeah.
But
Anyway,
they won't share it. So
anyway,
yeah, these are water bags, that's for sure, and these are supposed to very exciting, but test the loads of the new chopsticks.
the lifting capability.
Yeah, and these are around 500 kilograms in total, if I'm correct. So yeah, these are a bit more than the empty first stages, so the boosters as well. But of course, they want to make sure that it's quite strong enough to lift the boosters and the ships. So yeah, these are quite familiar because if you are remembering back at that time when the Pad A chopsticks were built and were tested, they used these quite strange water bags as well. So it's not a very new site, but again, they are returned of the water bags or anything as you want. So yeah, it was a quite long test and a quite quite detailed test, if I can say that. So the chopsticks were moved entirely the entire height with these bags, and yeah, the chopsticks performed quite well, at
Mhm.
least from outer point of view. Yeah,
Are they
we
gonna?
have
Are they ever gonna put more load on it?
maybe they won't because it's not needed. So this about 500 kilograms. It's more than the weight of the boosters and the ships. Even with still some fuel with it, because of course they will not just lift but catch the boosters and the ships in the future, and of course they will have still some propellant inside the tanks. But anyway,
Start exceeding 500.
yeah, it's or maybe it's not 500, but even more kilograms. I don't know. But if we just counting about a bit more than 100 kilogram per water bags, then it's in total about 500. So yeah, they performed it in the weekend. And
I also heard that because these chopsticks are shorter,
yeah,
the what's that lever? The what is it called? The power lever. Help me out, chat, please. I think this is the correct terminology. Is smaller because it's not long and it's
yeah.
not sticking out that much, so it's not that difficult to move around. So the lifting capability is not affected.
Yeah, the loads are different.
Yeah. Well, it is affected. Sorry. So it's a totally different story. That's the whole reason why the arms are much shorter, because it doesn't need to be long and it doesn't need to be an awkward way to move around. And we could see that on the right, there's the Pede. They had so much problem with moving those long arms around. Based on the previous catches, they don't need that long, and they already using the short chopsticks at Florida as well, right?
Yeah, they are building the same one as in case of Pad B. So these long arms are only on Pad A, and these are the first and last.
Yep. There's already an answer for Mao, but Mao L. What I will read is hello, everyone. I'm seriously planning to travel to Boca Chica to see the launch. I live in Argentina, so that's quite a trip indeed.
Yes.
We can compete. We are from Hungary, so which is closer or which is further. But his messages go on like this. I saw that launch windows moved to next week, but May 22nd and 23rd still appear in the FAA schedule, interrupted by some days resuming by May 27th to 31st. I should aim for next week, should I? And Ekij already replied they are not planning to catch booster. As we can echo ourselves, it doesn't look like that they are going to go anytime sooner than 27th. So if you ask us, don't bother. Just go yet. Leave it for the last moment. From our experience, we are okay. It's not the same thing, but we are aiming for an kind of operational launch. We are Hungarians, and with the Axiom 4 mission, there will be a Hungarian research astronaut in the crew that's going to the International Space Station, and that's already delayed. And we had a flexi ticket, luckily, but there is no guarantee when it comes to launches. If you can control everything, like when you buy the ticket, buy a flexi ticket, and also if you can book your accommodation at the very last moment, just do that. When they have a full stack, or it looks like they are rolling the full stack, I would say that's when you should book the flight, because then you have the most chance of actually seeing it and not wasting your time and of course your money.
Yeah, nothing to add. So
Okay.
and, yeah, we are running out of time. So
Well, yeah.
that
I mean,
was that
we
that should be.
you
for it.
remember we've been worried a little bit that how we're gonna fill this 1 hour. It looks like it's never
We
a
can do it
huge task
anytime.
for us. Yeah. This is our favorite topic. Probably it's time to close the votes. The poll. Sorry. Or let's just give one more minute. If you haven't expressed your opinion, this is the time. and this is right now. At the moment, 70% of you is saying that ship 35 is going to work as planned, and only 30% of you, including me, says the same issues as the last
Boo.
slides.
Boo.
Yeah, no, I take my I opinion proudly, and yeah, I have no problem of being wrong. Yeah, okay. Thanks for being with us this week again. Almost record number of 200 of you were watching us. Please tell us what you think is going to happen. Please leave a comment to us. Press a like button. Just destroy it because it really helps the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so because we are keep on coming back week by week with these summaries, and hopefully you really like what you see on this 1 hour program. Again, thank you very much for being with us, and hopefully we see you next week. I don't know, David, if you want to add something, or shall we just go?
That next week will be not sure, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm traveling to Orlando, so if there is any,
we have to talk about it.
yeah, it depends on if there will be a flight 9 happening. If it does, then there's no point doing a summary because in a day or two you're gonna have the flights. But yeah, we'll keep you posted. Just stay tuned. Have
Yeah.
a great week. Enjoy your days. Don't work too hard. Keep your eyes on the Tuesdays and Fridays episodes from What About It from Felix, and up until next week, we see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice week.